What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you for watching. Today we are back with the FP-45 Liberator. Now, we did a video on this thing last week. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. I give a lot more information there, but this is a reproduction from vintage ordnance. So it's not an original. However, it was built off the original design, and in that first video we encountered a lot of the same problems you would come to expect from the older ones, mainly accuracy. Now, for those of you that don't know, the Liberator has a fascinating history. So it was designed around World War II to give the unarmed civilians in Europe a fighting chance to resist the takeover that was happening, and basically give them one point-blank shot to take out a bad guy and steal their firearm. Essentially, it's a gun designed to get you a better gun. Now, how many of them were really used for that is kind of a mystery, but today we're going to do an experiment and see how effective the FP-45 Liberator would actually be when used as intended. And of course, our testing subject is going to be a ballistic dummy lab human head, which is literally perfect for these kinds of videos. So we'll pretend this is an evil Nazi bad guy, and we got to take him out at point blank range with the FP-45 Liberator. By the way, we do have a discount code with Ballistic Dummy Lab, so if you want to get some of this stuff for yourself, use the code ONESHOTTV at checkout, and you'll get a pretty good discount. Let's get started. So, like I said earlier, we definitely had some problems in that first video, which I expected, and it's kind of what made the video fun, honestly. But number one was the smooth metal surface. So if you had sweaty or, God forbid, bloody hands, it's definitely not ideal and it's hard to hold on to. So I put some goon tape around it just to give it a little extra grip. And the second problem we had was accuracy. I could not hit the target to save my life. So really quick before we do our bad guy test, I want to see if I can put a couple rounds on that steel target. And the way this thing works, you pull back the firing pin mechanism, rotate it to the side, the rear sight pulls up, which then exposes your chamber. You take your 45 ACP, put it in the chamber, close your rear sight, and then rotate the firing pin back into place, and it's ready to go. And I also learned the hard way to choke down on the grip, because when you fire this thing, the webbing of your hand gets caught in there, and it literally cut me open. So let's see if we can hit the target. I think I need to hold really low and left. Yep, it went about 18 inches high. And as you can see, it still cut the webbing of my hand open on literally the very first shot. So one thing that's hard to get used to is the trigger pull on this thing. It's probably 10 pounds or more, but not only that, the entire rear housing slams forward before the bullet fires. So it's really hard to be accurate with. And to eject the spent shell casing, you repeat the process in reverse, pull this up, and then you have to use a punch rod to get that shell casing out of there. Let's try one more. I feel like it takes me 10 seconds to slowly press that trigger to the rear because it's so heavy. Headshot. And by the way, I was aiming at the railroad ties underneath the target and probably 6 inches to the left. So that's how inaccurate it is and why these things were only designed to be used at point blank range, not 10 yards away. Let's try it one-handed. Ironically, I feel like I hit the target more when I use one hand. I don't know what that's about. And I went back to the glove. Go ahead and make fun of me in the comments all you want, but I would rather not get my hand chewed up if possible. So I've got a piece of cardboard stapled to some plywood down there, and you might remember in the last video, I talked about barrel issues that the originals had with bullets tumbling almost immediately as they left the barrel. Whether it was improper rifling or they weren't rifled at all, I'm not really sure, but I want to test this out and see if our Liberator is doing the same thing, because it's obviously inaccurate. Go ahead and load it up and see if we can hit that big piece of cardboard. It's hard to say, but to me, that looks like a keyhole. So I'm using cardboard because it's usually better than paper at showing this type of stuff, but if a bullet is flying straight and stabilized properly, the hole should be circular, and that one definitely isn't. So we're gonna try this out of the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield, a gun that I know does not keyhole, and just see what this bullet hole looks like. Yep. Well, I'm actually really glad I did this test because it honestly explains a lot. So our bullet hole from the Liberator is right there on the top left corner, and you can see the football shape of that hole, which is where the term keyholing comes from. And then our M&P Shield 45 is right down here, and that is a perfect circle. It's also right in the middle of the target where I was aiming instead of a foot high and a foot left. But you can clearly see the Liberator is causing those bullets to tumble, which would explain the accuracy issues. It's kind of hard to be accurate when the bullet is leaving the barrel tumbling and unstabilized, but at point blank range, which is what these guns were designed for, it might be extra effective. Let's find out. All right, point blank range test on a bad guy with the FP-45 Liberator. Now, the best ammo to use would probably be 45 NATO, like what they carried back in World War II, but we don't have any of that. So I'm just gonna use some regular 230 grain full metal jacket ball ammo, and I assume the results should be similar. We know for a fact these bullets are tumbling as they come out of the barrel, so maybe it'll do a ton of extra damage. Let's see. Oh! Well, I'm absolutely covered in fake ballistic dummy blood, and so is our Liberator. I don't know why I didn't anticipate that. I'm an idiot. Hopefully it doesn't stain like real blood, because I like this shirt. Well, I tried to wipe my face off. Hopefully I don't look too ridiculous, but I don't know about you guys. I would say that would absolutely get the job done. So you can see where that bullet went in, and we even have some pretty big powder burns right around the entrance hole because we were literally at point blank range. And that bullet hole is circular. We were so close, it probably didn't have time to, you know, destabilize or tumble. But if you look at the exit hole, obviously we have a pretty good mess here on the table. That is an oblong shape exit hole. So it probably went in, tumbled, and, you know, bounced around in there like bullets are designed to do, and then left a pretty big exit hole. We also have some cracks on the bone, both on the entrance and the exit hole. So it did quite a bit of damage, and that would absolutely be one dead Nazi. And hopefully he was alone, because if not, you would be screwed. All right, guys, there you have it. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. FP-45 Liberator versus bad guy, and now my Liberator needs cleaned. So I would say that would absolutely get the job done. It's obviously a 45 ACP. You know, we all kind of expected this result, but these guns are so weird and they have such unique problems that I thought I would do this test and see how effective one of these would actually be at point blank range, and I was definitely impressed with the result. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know down in the comments below, and if there's anything else you would like to see with the FP-45 Liberator, let me know down there as well. Believe it or not, this gun is kind of growing on me. It's horrible, it's atrocious, it sucks to shoot, but I love it. The history around this thing is just so cool and so unique. It's probably one of my favorite guns that I've ever bought. So again, hope y'all liked the video. If you did, please hit that like button for me, guys. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.